Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, I'm playing video series V's I've been doing for a little while now. I'll go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty excited for this one, and I also have a little bit of an announcement to make. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck, I'm wearing grody work clothes. That means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. It's kind of the case, not the case exactly with this particular thing. We're going to get to that. So, what am I trying for you? What are we doing here? Well, like I said, this wasn't a specific instance where I did get off work, was on my way home. Decided I was going to stop off for some breakfast. Where to get breakfast from? I could go to McDonald's, I could do all that stuff, but instead, I decided to go over there and stop off at a local spot. Now, if you go over there and you watch my channel for long enough, you know I love highlighting local spots. I, in fact, have an entire playlist called Sampler Platter Local Love, which is just for local spots. Just places that are local to Illinois, kind of my region, that I can go over there and hopefully highlight for, other people to enjoy. I'm making a slight change, although I'm going to probably just keep the playlist name the same because I've been using it for a while. I am going to call these, I have a new name for these segments where I'm highlighting local spots. I'm going to call it Eating Out Illinois. Just because. And what is the very first official episode of Eating Out Illinois? Well, folks, it comes from a place. Boom! It's this, but it's what's inside. It is... Boom! It's a Monte Cristo sandwich. This is from a place called the Omelette House. This is an awesome little breakfast and lunch spot, to be fair, that I have been going to, off and on for a number of years. Me and my dad used to go there every now and again. And in the last couple of years, I kind of made my way back around to it. I've always really enjoyed their stuff. I believe it's family owned and operated. The staff are great. It's like a cool, kitschy little, just off by itself spot. And my favorite thing that I've ever had from there has got to be their Monte Cristo sandwich. I love it. And I figured I'd highlight it for you folks here. So, if you're unfamiliar with the Monte Cristo sandwich, it's one of the best sandwiches ever. It consists of scrambled eggs, ham, Swiss cheese on French toast. And it also comes with hash browns because that's part of their meal deal. And it cost me $11.95. And we've also got the syrup. So, let's go ahead and take some of this. It's so beautiful, it's ridiculous. Can we get a thing? We're going to try to get a thing for the thing. Hold together sandwich. Boom! It looks like this. It's freaking amazing. Can we get a... Ha 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 ha! Oh, man. Now, I haven't had one of these in a few months because it's not a sandwich you want to eat that often because you'll die. Not because of, anything with the Omelette House. It's just a decadent sandwich. So I'm going to do it without the syrup first, and then we're going to go in with the syrup because I know I want the syrup. Home. That's so good, man. Even without the syrup, it basically does what I want it to for a breakfast sandwich. But the thing is, it needs to be prepared well. It's all fine and well. I mean, the whole makeup of it is great, but every aspect of it has to be done properly. The eggs have to be really good. Eggs are really good. Ham has to be nice and flavorful. Super flavorful ham. Swiss cheese has to be melted to perfection. Look at that Swiss cheese melted to perfection. And then you got to go over there and you got to have a consistency on the French toast where not only, does it still need to be delicious French toast, but it needs to be holdable, Typically, French toast, might be a little bit looser. if you're doing the Monte Cristo, I mean, I guess you could just knife and fork it if you really wanted to, but, you want to pick it up. You want to taste that. It's so good, man. It's just one of those things, it's like, it's perfection. French toast, even just by itself, has a hint of a sweetness to it. Not real sweet, but it doesn't taste like overly eggy or anything like that. Again, scrambled eggs, nice and fluffy. They work perfectly with everything that's going on here. And that ham is just fantastic, man. Swiss cheese is not my favorite cheese, despite what every cartoon as a kid I watched wanted me to believe. But if you melt Swiss cheese, suddenly it becomes like absolutely phenomenal. And it's just, it's so good. Here's the thing. I'd never had a Monte Cristo sandwich until last year. I had heard of it. I didn't know what it was. And randomly one day, I got off work. I was like, I haven't been in the Omelette House in a long time. Let's go to the Omelette House. So I went to the Omelette House. And I'm looking over their menu. They got skillets, omelets, obviously. A whole variety of good stuff. And I saw they had a Monte Cristo on there. And I was like, you know what? Here's the opportunity. Let's do it. And I am so happy that the first Monte Cristo that I ever had was from the Omelette House. Because your first time, that could be it, man. You don't necessarily have to give it a second shot. I had the same thing with Eggs Benedict is probably my outright favorite breakfast item. I love it. And the first time I had it, because it was another one, I'd heard about it, never had it. First time I had it was probably like late teens, early 20s, something like that. And I'm so happy that I got it from the spot that I got it because it set the pace. It taught me what a good one is, what a bad one is. That's the Omelette House in Monte Cristo for me. The Monte Cristo here is friggin' fantastic. And I have had Monte Cristos from other places subsequently. And I have to say, some have been, on point. Others, not so much. And like I said, I'm glad I have this one to highlight that. But we have to go over there, add on the syrup, because that really is what makes it for me. You don't have to, but come on, folks. You know me. I love the sweet and savory mixture. Let's just go over there and pour that on. I mean, it's a sloppy fucking sandwich. No two ways about it. But that's okay. You're allowed to. You're an adult, maybe. I mean, I specifically have to mark my videos as not being geared towards children, but, anybody can do what they want. As good as the Monte Cristo is by itself, and it's really good. You add on that syrup, it becomes, quite frankly, the closest thing that any breakfast item has come to challenging the Eggs Benedict for me. Because again, the Eggs Benedict, that's my top. But I have to admit, you go over there, I get a Monte Cristo from the Omelette House, I pour that syrup on it, I start wolfing that thing down. That makes me real happy. I mean, look, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Obviously. For me personally, folks, I kind of decided, honestly, I decided to do this kind of on a whim. It wasn't like a specific thing where I was like, I'm going to review something from the Omelette House. It was like, I'm kind of in the area. I could go for some breakfast. Hey, good opportunity. But it worked out because, for one thing, I get to kind of christen this new namesake for the show. Again, Eating Out Illinois. Have to put the pause in there. It allows me to, this is kind of a ringer situation because I had this before. Even though it's been months, I knew I was going to love this. I've never not loved it every time that I've had it from there. And I've had it multiple times now. I am so happy that not only did I get to, again, have my first Monte Cristo at the Omelette House, but beyond that, I'm happy that I get to go over there and, christen this new namesake for the show with a place that I really enjoy and, with something that I just really love. It's just a really great food, and like I said, I like the establishment, I like the people who run it. I've never not had a great meal there, so I'm happy that I can go over there and in my own very insignificant way, just be like, hey, maybe somebody watches my videos and they're like, blah, blah, blah. So, for me personally, I think it's perfect the way it is. Beyond that, about the only people I could see maybe not being into it are people who just don't like the sweet and savory aspect. And really, when it comes down to that, you could just not put the syrup on it. It still has a little bit of a sweet and savory thing, but not to a significant extent. But it's just, and even beyond the Omelette House, man, if you get the opportunity, try out a Monte Cristo. Like, they're fucking fantastic. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Spectacular the rest of the week. Monumental rest of the month. Stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly favorite breakfast item-tastic rest of your day. Because, folks, I mean, maybe for you it is just an omelet. Maybe it's, maybe some corned beef, hash, and eggs. Whatever it is, maybe it's just a bagel. That's perfectly fine, too. There's something to be said for breakfast. I'm more of a lunch and dinner guy if I'm being realistic. But, man, sometimes you just want breakfast, and that's just the best thing ever. I hope you can have that, too. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you gotta do, folks. You're try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. I mean, it's not all just delicious Monte Cristo sandwiches and, I don't know. I mean, that's all I've done for the day since I've gotten off of work. But hopefully things keep going good from there. The fact of the matter is, life is going to be stressful and frustrating and just, sometimes. And when it is, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you have a cool little spot that you're partial to as well, and maybe you haven't been there in a little bit. Like I said, it's been, probably at least 2-3 months since the last time I was at the Omelette House, because I'm just not, I like breakfast sometimes, but I'm more a lunch and dinner guy. But maybe it's time to head back there, Maybe try it out again, give it a shot for whatever, just whatever reason you've taken a little bit of a hiatus from it. Hit me up in the comments and be like, Brandon, I went to Dave's place and it was fantastic, and I just, I saw Dave and he was cool, and, he got that Ferrari that he always wanted. Good for Dave. I don't know. That's perfectly fine, though. You can chat me up in the comments about that stuff. I like seeing people happy and succeeding. That's just me. Or conversely, no, just, you could do that. Or not if you don't want to. Anyway, bye!